I think the discussion you wanted to have, which is about self-care, and I think you can, we'll let you define that, but I think what you're talking about are, in our society with all this going on, and we seem so busy, we have deadlines, we have stuff to catch up, we have families, the holidays coming up, we think about our jobs, security, the economy, and am I making the living I want? What are my kids going to do? How am I going to get into college? There's a million and one things. And when you really sit down and say, when do we consciously sit down and say, I just need to really separate this time and find this time and do some forgiveness work. I really have to meditate and pray every day. I really have to do this kind of stuff. And that's what I think you want to get to in terms of talking about self-care, whether it's forgiveness work, whether it's meditation or whatever. What is really the meaning of truly taking care of yourself other than applying skin cream and wearing clothes that fit, I mean, what are the real things that we can do to really take care of ourselves, especially going into these seasons that you're describing?
Exactly. And, it's not that the skin care and the massage and the what's it called, pedicures and all those
right.
kinds of things aren't important.
Right.
They are part of self-care. But then there's a metaphor there too. We need to take care of the surface, and are we also taking care of what's under the surface?
Right.
And I think there are levels of self-care, and there are degrees of self-care that we're able to allow ourselves to engage in. And so if all we can do is a massage and a bath at night, hey, congratulations. Pat yourself on the back for wherever you are, and then look to what more you can do to understand at deeper levels what taking care of yourself is. And yes, we've talked about a huge one, which is forgiveness of others and forgiveness of self. And this piece that I want to read to take us in a slightly different direction as well, to enrich the discussion, not to substitute it, but to add to it other levels of self-care and other meanings of self-care. And just to be clear, I wrote this in November 1998. So this was almost 12 years ago. But it's as relevant today as it was then, because it asks questions and looks at what does self-care mean. What if I really listened to my heart, not the demands, desires, needs of everyone else in my world, but really sank in and got quiet enough to hear me? What if the chaos surrounding me in the lives of others ceased to pull me off track, off center, ceased to be a way of pulling me away from my life, away from who I am, what I want, and what is rightfully me? Would I be a pariah? Would I know myself? Would my friends flee because I no longer would be the false me? Could my husband take the shift? How scared would he be? How much chaos would ensue? And would I be selfish? That most dreaded of words. That concept that's the antithesis of everything that we're supposed to be in this society. Selflessness, service, giving is what it most prized, most valued, held up as the way to be, the only true way to be. Yet if all I do is give, when do I take in? And what is there for me to use for my life, my growth, my expression of self and of soul? Rabbi Hillel said, if I am not for myself, who will be for me? And being for my own self, and if not now, when? The the light, the life-giving power in those words is almost too much. Dare I take in this permission? Yes, permission to be for myself. And what does that mean anyway? I've spent so much of my life being for everyone but myself that the thought of putting me first jolts through me and literally shakes me to my foundation. Can I be good and still be for myself? The old messages die hard. It's a daily effort to peel away the outside, have to, shoulds, musts, and get close enough to myself to hear the I ams and I wants. What a revelation to discover ever so slowly, yet profoundly, that the more me I allow myself to recognize, surface, and express, the more me I have to give, to share, and how much more it means, because giving is without a hook, without a hidden agenda, just from the heart. And that's it. The more I have of my own heart, the more of it I have to give.